Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. It took me forever, and I know I'm supposed to, well, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to have a subject for this video. But before I go on a tangent and start talking about that, let me talk about, first, a reminder about the Christmas sale still kind of going on until, I think it's like 5 days left or something like that. I honestly do not remember at all. But head over to the store. Link is in the description. Buy whatever you want, whatever you can afford. I don't care. Buy nothing. Any penny helps me. Somebody already bought something, which I'm so happy about, which is fantastic. And yada yada. So, also, this is just me coloring in another drawing that I did for Inktober with the snake woman. And I used different color undertones. And I didn't really complete this picture in this video, so if you want to see the semi-final piece that might never be finished, just head over to my Instagram and check it out. I kind of like how it was going, and I probably might finish it eventually one day. We will see. And yeah, so now let's talk about it. I told y'all that I was going to talk more into depth about my recent mental health well, I can't even call it discoveries, but I'll just give you the rundown because I think a lot of people have a misconception and misunderstanding about ADHD and mental health in general, because mental health isn't something that people talk about in school, or parents don't talk about it either. Rarely do people talk about it because of this idea or the stigma attached to having mental health as being a weakness, or something is wrong with you, you're broken, or you're crazy. That's just what it sums up to, and that's just how many people perceive mental health to be, which is really dangerous, because then you leave people going undiagnosed when they have issues, and then it just causes a bigger problem than what's truly needed. So, like I said, I was recently diagnosed with ADHD, but this wasn't the first time I suspected that I had ADHD. I just didn't want to bring it to light because I didn't want to say something unless I was diagnosed by a professional, which I was. And basically, that's another reason why I have this video kind of long, because when you have issues with ADHD, you lose focus a lot. Y'all don't know it, but there's a lot of times when I'm doing playback. Look, see, I'm going on a tangent, but when I do playback of my video and I do a voiceover, I have to pause it so I can get back on track and remember what I was saying, because I just forget. But anyway, so I got diagnosed, but I suspect I had ADHD when I was in college, and I think it was like my sophomore year. And I knew a guy who had ADD, and he was taking Adderall or Ritalin. I don't remember what it was. And I had a little brief discussion to him, and he was saying, yeah, you probably have it too. And the thing about ADHD is that many people don't know the symptoms of ADHD. So they don't think that you have it at all. They just think that's how you are and who you are, unless they understand ADHD. So a lot of people just thought that's how it was. And yeah, so if anybody ever comes to you saying, hey, I think you've been acting pretty different lately, you probably have ADHD, you probably don't. That's just you acting different, okay? Because nobody's going to notice it unless they know what ADHD is. Do you understand? And he knew what it was, and I explained to him some of the issues I was having with school at the time, and he understood, and he said perhaps I should get checked out by a doctor. He's not the type to say take any drugs or whatever. Of course I didn't do it, and which is another symptom of ADHD, is procrastinating. And I don't know, sometimes people deny the fact that they have it. I used to think, even as a child, and this is not something that just appears when you're an adult, usually. As far as I know, it doesn't appear when you're just an adult. It's just something that happens at childhood, and then it shows up. Well, then it starts to really affect you as an adult, because that's when you have to function in life. And I realized that I had it back when I was in elementary school, because I used to be what my parents would call, oh, I had to pause it again, very rebellious. And I used to just act out, do things that they didn't like very much. My teachers used to call me smart but lazy, basically because I didn't do my homework at all, or projects. There was a lot of things I just did poorly, and the only thing I did well on was tests. So that's why they thought I was smart, and they didn't think I really had a learning disability. That's the problem. Like, if you're smart if you're smart, and not even smart, because you can still be smart and do terrible, but if you can actually pull it together in certain aspects in school and you have ADHD, sometimes it can go unnoticed because they'll think you're just being lazy, because that's just one of the things that people think goes with. A lot of people think when you have ADHD you're lazy because you just don't find or have motivation to complete things or to even start things. And there's a lot of times, even today, when my dad, he gets upset with me because I don't complete a job when it's regarding something I really don't like to do. For instance, when they ask me to clean the kitchen, I don't really like cleaning, but most people don't like cleaning, but they still complete the cleaning process, right? But not me. I would half-ass it, or I would almost finish it, but it was be a few things left, and then by that time, I'm like, I just don't have the mental energy to continue. It doesn't make any sense, and it sounds crazy, but that's just how your brain works. And I was just looking at Reddit. I don't really have a Reddit account, just look at the forum sometimes, and somebody explained it the most perfect way. Basically, he said his ADHD symptoms feel like there's 3 or 4 TVs going off in their head, and the volume, that each of them have different volumes. Some volumes are really low, and then some are really loud, and sometimes some certain, and they're changing channels all the time, and the channels, they always seem to be urgent and important, except for certain things. And he gave like a example of his job. It's like his job, the TV is turned down really low, and then to the point where it goes almost completely silent, and then the loudest TV is what grabs your attention, and there's no silencing the TVs, and there's always 1 or 2 going off, and you can't really control it. But and then he did the contrary with his medication. It felt like there's always 1 or 2 TVs still going on, but he can control the volume of each one. Right now I'm at a point where I can't control the volume anything, and I think the anticipation of this medication that I ordered, because I've seen more pros than cons to medication. I'm not a pro meds type of person. I'm about all natural, all that shit. But the problem with ADHD is it's extremely hard to go the natural route when you have ADHD, because it's like a lack of chemical in your brain, and it's not something that you can get out of. It's almost like it's actually known to be genetic, ADHD. So it's almost like saying you can cure a genetic disorder. It's like there's no way you can really do that. Your body is just kind of broken. I hate to say that word, but it's kind of how it is. So the only way to really help that is to fix the problem. And that's what the medication does for ADHD and those with ADHD. There are natural routes with ADHD. However, doing it your own as a person with ADHD is extremely hard, and it can be pricey if you try to seek professional help with the issues. So that's why I don't want to do that, because I am broke, and I don't want something that's a little more permanent that I can keep incorporated in my life for a long time. And so I feel like medication is the best route. I'm hoping that it helps me, and I hope it helps my channel, because I even have issues with my channel regarding ADHD. Even today, I was almost about to not do this video. I was thinking, oh my god, I don't feel like doing this video. Like, I don't feel like doing this video. I don't feel like doing any art. I don't feel like doing this video. But I push myself to do it so I can throw something out, and I use it as an opportunity to talk about my struggles. And these are the struggles that I'm going through. And so I'm trying to fix it. Hopefully things will get better very soon, and hopefully you guys will see that in my social media and in my YouTube videos. And if you think you have ADHD, go check it out with a psychiatrist. Don't let it keep going on, okay? This shit sucks, okay? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Peace.